Through 2 weeks in this 2022 NFL season, the Cincinnati Bengals are one of 5 teams to have an 0-2 record. The other teams, for the most part, are not expected to contend. These Bengals, of course, do not fit that category, as they went all the way to the Super Bowl in February. So what's gone wrong? What can they do to recover? And finally, are they in real trouble, and is it time to panic? A majority of the issues lie with the offense and how they have been playing as a collective unit. They've accumulated a mere 37 points through 2 games, which is a far cry from what they were averaging last year. It's easy to just go ahead and label Joe Burrow as the scapegoat for all the offensive failures the Bengals have been having, but it goes deeper than that. A problem that haunted him in his 2020 rookie season, but was sort of nullified last year because the offense was playing well and they were winning. To put it bluntly, the offensive line has been terrible so far, allowing Joe Burrow to be sacked 13 times. For context, most of the 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL have been sacked about 4 to 6 times so far. With no time to throw, Burrow has been rushing and forcing plays when he doesn't have to. This, of course, has led to turnovers, and everyone knows that a negative turnover differential is almost always not a recipe for success. He's already threw 4 interceptions and fumbled 3 times, on his way to posting a horrendous 73.1 passer rating. His offensive weapons at the skill positions haven't been especially productive in a season where they were saddled with pretty high expectations. Jamar Chase was a non-factor in Week 2, along with running back Joe Mixon. They absolutely need these guys to wake up and consistently perform if they want to make it back to the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. This team was expected to make some noise in the always competitive AFC North division, and yet still they've lost to 2 very feeble teams in the Steelers and Cowboys. Let's just take a moment to digest what actually happened during those 2 games, because it's not like these Bengals have been getting routed during this slow start. At home against the Steelers in Week 1, facing Mitch Trubisky and their anemic offense, they were able to contain them, forcing Trubisky into an atrocious 5.1 yards per attempt. Najee Harris, coming off a great rookie season, 10 carries for 23 yards. They were pretty much able to control the game defensively, and yet fans are calling it the worst game they've ever watched. It was because there were a lot of turnovers, and a few missed and/or blocked field goals. They just could not get anything going on offense, and even when they did, it was immediately snuffed out. Joe Mixon was completely ineffective on the ground, going for a minimal 3 yards per carry. Down 20-14 late in the 4th quarter, Jamar Chase caught a touchdown pass with 2 seconds left on the clock. Unfortunately for them, it was not game over, as Evan McPherson's kick was blocked. He got another chance in overtime from 29 yards out, but missed wide to the left. Chris Boswell promptly returned the favor by hitting the upright from 55 yards. He'd get another chance from 53, and this time he nailed it to give the Steelers a 23-20 win. An interesting start for a team that had nearly won the Super Bowl just 7 months before, but it was only 1 game. The Bengals went to Dallas in Week 2 with hopes of forgetting their atrocious performance from the week prior. The Cowboys had backup quarterback Cooper Rush starting, so all the odds rested in favor of the Bengals to come out on top. But I wouldn't be making this video if they won, and they once again made it as agonizing as they could. The offense went completely silent as they were quite plainly overmatched by the strength of the Cowboys' defense. Joe Burrow couldn't get anything going through the air as the offensive line crumbled around him and allowed their quarterback to be sacked 6 times. Joe Mixon was held to a mere 57 yards on the ground in his 2nd straight performance with 3 yards per carry. As with the Steelers game, the Bengals' defense kept them in the game, holding many notable Cowboys to weak games. They held them to just 3 out of 10 on 3rd down and were able to force a turnover. After tying the game up with less than 4 minutes to go, Cooper Rush led the Cowboys downfield into field goal range with just seconds on the clock, setting up Brett Maher for the game-winning 50-yard field goal. The Bengals now find themselves in an 0-2 hole, and last year, no team that started 0-2 made the playoffs. So, can the Bengals overcome the adversity and get back to where they were in 2021? Will the offense come around? We have 15 games left to find out.